Alrighty.
Oh man, Adam Bomb Body did that? That's so cool.
Her video painting that looked like she was having fun. Just dabbing with the paintbrush.
What app?
No, it was just one of the paint apps, very basic.
Okay.
She just time-lapsed or recorded herself time-lapse doing it.
Just MS Paint. MS Paint. Classic class software those.
She was in VR. Yeah. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to VRV Podcast, episode 116. I am PJ,
I'm Wookie.
and we're here talking to the lovely gents from Let's Talk Oculus.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
that
Dan.
is us.
That is us. I am Dan from, the YouTube channel Plays SVR, but I am one half of Let's Talk Oculus, and with me is my co-host.
Oh, I am Samson, the other half from Let's Talk Oculus. I've recently done a rebrand. I'm Samson143VR.
Woo!
Ooh.
So buy the new T-shirts for 143 VR.
Oh yeah.
We do have merch, but we don't have a Samsung only
Yeah.
merch yet. Maybe we should work on that.
Yeah.
Like a sweaty synth rider's shirt.
Yeah, like I could sell like my old bathwater type of deal, like just wring out my sweaty shirts and stuff.
Just send Oculus the face covers, but like after each Synth session.
Unwashed, yeah.
The cloth ones.
I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
I just sent PJ my old Rift because I never used it. And I still have the cloth. The very first cloth cover I got for that was like tucked in the corner of some box it was hiding in. It looks like a cotton thong. Like, what the hell is that thing?
You're like, this
Oh,
is
well, you know
what
what?
it is.
It has a new name. It's the Quest Rift now.
That is true.
The what? That wouldn't
Yeah,
have
they,
run over my head. I don't know.
No, they updated their website on the store now. It's listed as the Quest Rift and the Quest Go, and et cetera, et cetera.
Did they explain that? Why wasn't it like Meta Rift? And
Yo no say, I don't know.
Mhm.
But speaking of your username, I've always wondered, and I've always meant to ask, but I never have. What's the deal with seagulls? Like what's up with that?
Oh well, the Seagull Maniac was just that's like an OG. It was just like when I first started Twitter, and something I feel like my father used to use. My last name is Eagleman, and he came up with Eagle Maniac, and
Nice.
I just put my first initial in front of it, and so it became Seagull Maniac. And then eventually, more recently, I was like, you know what? Like, this doesn't make sense having everything just be different, from when I was a layman, not into VR. So I should make everything in unison.
Very good.
Because when we first started talking and met and hanging out, I'm like, Seagull Maniac. What's so great about seagulls? Like, I always
He
meant
just
to
really
ask.
liked the seagull course in Walkabout.
Yeah.
He's just a big fan of that one.
I get it.
Big Seagull Stacks guy. Big Seagull Stacks guy.
So how's the show going? How are you guys doing with everything?
Good. We're on, I think, as the time of this one recording, we're on episode 44, I believe.
Nice.
Which is crazy because the MetaQuest showcase was like a few weeks ago, and that was like almost our year anniversary of doing the podcast, because it was all because of that is when we decided to make one, because we just decided to do like a not reactions, more like a predictions video with other YouTubers and such. And I think PJ, you submitted you submitted a prediction for it too. And then I think after me and Samson, because we've not met properly, we were just spoken through like YouTube and such and Twitter and whatever. And we were like, this is super fun. So we just decided to do the podcast, and here we are. We're on episode almost 44 now, I think. And it's been going well. A lot of learning curves. Like the start of the podcast. I mean, Samson, you remember this from the start. I got Samson to record his video through a camera. I would record my video through a camera. we'd be on, I don't know if we were on Zoom at the time or we were on Zoom or something like that, but we would record on each other's separate cameras. It wouldn't be recording through Zoom or anything because I thought that was the way to do it. And then Samson would send me
I
like
would
a
upload it,
massive upload file with his half, and then I'd sync the audio in the video editing software, and then that's how we'd do it. And I didn't realize that I could just hit record on Zoom and it would do everything else for me.
and syncing up audio in a video is fucking difficult sometimes.
It's not easy. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that's
for
why
sure.
and they had those clappers in
Yeah.
real life to do that.
Yeah, I know a lot of like the VR tubers do one of these movements, to sync up the movement to the. For those
That's
of you
what I
listening,
do.
I just
I go
move my
like
arms
one
in an
and
X.
two.
Yeah.
You got to do aerobics to get yourself a visual and audio marker.
I should have saved all of my aerobics that I did. I always do like 1, 2, 3, and that's what I sync it up. And for some reason, like the way you say it now, it's quite funny. And I should have saved every start of that and put it into a compilation of a year of YouTube of trying to sync audio.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was listening to the F Reality podcast today, and I think they take a picture, like a screenshot of the start of every podcast of everybody smiling, like like just a screen capture of every podcast, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, like a little memory bank.
Yeah, I took the high road in my early days. I would just do it like Godzilla sub style, and I'd just be moving my mouth the whole time, and then I'd just do a voiceover. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what are you talking about?
As
well
as everyone that watched the videos.
For sure. It's really is a learning curve, like going from, I mean, we had our first repeat guest on last week where we had Mateo 311 from, he's a content creator on YouTube for anyone who's not sure who he is, but we had him on for the second time, and before that episode I went back just to listen to our first episode with him, which was only like 20 episodes before, but oh my gosh, the quality of our podcast from 20 to now is just completely different because we didn't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of just winging.
Just two bros talking.
We just
pretty much.
That's our show.
Yeah, we did a Friends podcast for like 5 years before we started this one. And it goes, Sean, I'm going to make a little bit of fun of PJ's editing, but he's come a long way because he's trying not to. But like in the first few episodes, almost like months and months, our whole friend group that we're talking, we kept saying like way too much. It was hard to listen to. So PJ's sitting there cutting those out, I think. And we were being very, boring with like long sound gaps. I think PJ was trying to tighten that up. So sometimes you go back and listen to those, and it's like, wow, we are on fire. It's like watching Robin Williams do stand up. It's like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, wow, we are like on fire.
No
it was
dead
like
points.
Exhausting to listen to because there's no downtime. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think any of us were that good. I'm like, PJ, what are you doing?
To that point, when you show me an audio wave, I can pick out the word like.
Yeah.
No one's business. Like, it is insane.
You sent a screenshot of that and like a bunch, like a clip of all of us saying like, and then like a screenshot of the audio, and you're like, fucking stop it. I'm like, oh.
It's like, this was the first 10 minutes of the podcast. Welcome to the VR like path.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the learning curve. I remember one thing that was I had to work on myself, and I don't know. We're only on episode 44, so it's not like we're all experts at this yet. But I remember when we started having guests on the show, because we didn't have that for the first like 10 episodes or so. But I noticed that I would kind of like lead the conversation with the guest, but then I wouldn't really let Samson talk because I wouldn't want those gaps. I didn't want those gaps to happen, like you said that you found out. So I wasn't sure. It's hard when you're not sitting next to a person, like in person, to kind of understand when they're gonna speak or anything.
Yeah.
Like on Zoom, it's kind of difficult to gauge that. So I've been trying to work on that. I remember one episode, I think I said to Samson after the episode, I was like, Gosh, I gotta let you speak. It's like sometimes I just don't want the gaps.
Yeah,
I prefer it, but yeah, and on Zoom there's like a little delay, so it's a bit hard. You're often sort of cutting people off unintentionally.
that
You raise
still
your hand.
happens in here because there's still a little lag, and especially if the guest is like in Australia, like we start cutting each other off. But yeah, like Wookiee tends to be quiet when we have a guest, just because he's like, "Oh, I want you to ask your questions, and I want the guest to talk." I'm like, "Well, you're here too." Like, so I'll like just randomly throw it to Wookiee or something.
Well, I just want to hear the gusts usually because you're talking to them, and then if you get me going on a topic, some of the episodes where we take a break from having a guest or scheduling mishap, they don't get time to show up. I'll just start talking. You can't shut me up.
Yeah, there was a show recently where the guests didn't come in for a while. I think.
No, it was
we had one where they didn't show up for a while, and then we just had one where they weren't able to make it for some reason.
Okay, that was it. They did. Okay,
so.
Yep.
It was the plane game, like Ultra Wings 2.
Yeah, Ultra Wings. Yep.
So I probably made an ass of myself. If you guys actually listened to the whole podcast, I was probably just going on about something. They all blend together.
I think I made it through the first half of it so far. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I remember the beginning, I think, was a long conversation on guns, and there was something else too.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
We drifted.
No, I didn't stop
Wookiee
listening because I got sick of it.
Yeah. Wookiee
Things
doesn't
just came
play
on.
a lot of VR like I do, so we don't have conversations about VR when we have those moments. So we talk about Xbox, which
makes sense.
We need to start playing more VR again. That's why I got rid of the Rift. It was too much of a pain, and now I got a bunch of stuff going
too
on,
much
but,
friction.
Yeah, because like the sensors wouldn't work for me. So we'd play Pavlov back in the day, and there was like one sliver. Like if I turn around, my hand would just glitch out. I'd get shot in the face. I'd be like, "Motherfucker."
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's
like
definitely the selling point of the Quest, right? Where you can literally just put it on, you're in. That's the winner right there. In VR, it is really that thing. If it's extra little steps that you have to make, you're probably not going to do it. We spoke to Mateo in our podcast. We were talking about Supernatural and the fitness and such, right? But we were like, okay, it's probably going to be nice if you had like VR weights on your controllers with the hand grips and such. But it's like, okay, now I got to set these weights up every time. I need to put the hand grips on every time, and it's too much. So it'll just stop you from doing it.
I mean, you can scratch your belly and watch TV without having to do all that. So
exactly,
what's going to happen?
Exactly.
So I love VR when you're in it. I just have a problem with my brain. When you're in it, there's like nothing like it. Like being able to just, even though we don't have faces or hands, like it's more engaging to see you guys moving, and talking with. I was gonna say talking with hands, talking with pills, but flying airplanes and stuff like that. But yeah. And sometimes we get, like an early build of a game sometimes. And if it's, 30 minutes later and something's not working with multiplayer, something like that, you can make a middle finger.
Yes, I was just noticing.
I was seeing what I could do with these hands. I feel like the people on the audio is like, what the hell are you guys talking about? We were essentially just making a middle finger.
If you put the pills together and sink them into the table, you make a butt.
Oh.
I keep showing people this.
My Quest controller's getting away.
But going back to like early days of podcasting and missing things, we still like, even this episode, we don't like say, hey, we're recording this live in VR for the audio listener. Like they're probably like, what the hell's going on over there? Like, they don't know.
Yeah, we need to write out that spiel.
Yeah, we gotta get better at that.
Recorded live.
I guess it's harder
in front of a video audience.
It's harder to do that, I guess, in this setting, because we obviously are in this VR world. You can't really see a script in front of you. Where PJ, I know you came onto our podcast once, and I remember you making a comment like, "You guys are so professional. You have like a full-on script and everything." And I was like, isn't that how we do that? I just don't know. Like, I'm just winging it here. But you're right. If you're in like a place like this, you can't really have that. To be honest, you just got.
You need a little clipboard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're working on. That, like, I can see my OneNote in the app here, because I'm sure if you guys have heard half of any of our episodes, I cannot keep a name in my head to save my life. So I'll talk about a developer or a game. I can't remember the goddamn name of it. Like I feel like an ass.
Yeah.
You remembered Ultra Wings 2 a second ago, so that was.
It took me it took me a full minute to remember.
He said that playing game. Yeah.
I'm like,
he did say the playing game.
the closing that gap was a lot quicker than usual. And I have like a really good memory for faces. I'll like see like some random tiny thing, but I can't remember names. Like I don't know why. It just doesn't stick. Like I was watching.
And it's all being white balls doesn't help you being good with faces.
That too, but like with the names. I was watching Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Yeah, great film.
And there's a kid with a giant bag of weed. And I was like, I know that kid's face. And then I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, that's the kid that screams in Tommy Boy, like in the 90s. He screams at Tommy Boy. He's like, there's a whale on your boat. And I go stop watching the one movie, go find the other one, see the clip. I'm like, that's him. And then, of course, I look up IMDb, which I could have done like first, and it's him. I can do that shit, but you can tell me your name in a conversation. I do it with my neighbors all the time, going on walks around the neighborhood. I'll meet one of them. I remember their dog's name. I don't know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been there as well. I actually learned about that recently. I did read up on that, which is it's because we're all visual learners, like deep down, because we always dream in visual. We don't like dream in text or anything. So it's harder for our brains to remember names, but we can always remember faces because we are just that's how our brains just are.
I think I've met a few people that dream in binary.
Just ones and zeros.
Many zeros and ones last night.
Yeah. All I saw was the Matrix codes last night.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually a sick dream.
All you see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Yeah.
So I have a challenge for you guys.
Oh.
And you'll probably know what this means, but how many times in a row can you say puzzling places?
All right, Samson, go for it.
Oh gosh, I might have had too many drinks. Puzzling places, puzzling places, puzzling places. About three.
All right, puzzling places, puzzling places, puzzling places, puzzling places. Oh no, yeah, three. I folded on the fourth.
It's for Wookie and the listeners or watchers. Like, what was that, 3, maybe 4 episodes ago? You guys were trying to say that for like 5 minutes. I was just laughing my ass. It was so
I was gonna
funny.
say, I was like, what are you talking about?
Actually, that gave us an update. I meant to hop into it.
Yeah. It's pretty relaxing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I ended up hopping into the kayak game instead.
Nice.
A lot of hype. That game got a lot of hype when I remember it being shown like 2 or 3 years ago. That kayak game, but I guess I don't know if it's like officially out now or something like that. But yeah, perks of having a PC VR.
When you played it, did you do like the relaxing exploring thing, or did you do like the time trials and?
Dude, I did not do time trial. I did free roam immediately.
Yeah.
And I hung out in the pool for a bit too.
I think you should
talking about spec or not shit. See, I try to.
How is it? Did you do the time trial though? It just seemed like too much pressure. That's not why I'm.
Yeah, I would not even try it. I just want to be in there and kayak around.
I did jack up all my visual settings, and holy smokes, it's like bonkers.
It's gorgeous.
Game.
Yeah. What are you saying, Wookie?
That's weird because the first thing I would do is probably turn on the time to trial and talk, and that shows how good at paddling I would be, especially in VR. And then I'd probably throw a controller. Not really. Be like, I can't, without learning how to paddle. I'm like, I got this shit. I can't.
So it's weird, like how crazy VR is and how real it is to your mind. Like, and this happened to me last year, but I try to kayak a lot. I've gone yesterday and today to start out. Every time I'm out there, I have flashbacks of playing Covert Ops, the kayaking military game, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's still like I haven't played that game for a year now. Probably that's the first thing that popped in my head when I got out in the water. Like,
you haven't hopped in that one yet.
Pull out a silenced pistol
I was about to say, did you bring a sniper?
No.
No, I left that one at home.
Yeah, I just had the Uzi.
Had night vision goggles, but it was daytime.
Yeah, well, you got to have those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird how your brain like, oh, remember when last time you kayaked and this? Oh no, that was a game. Like,
Yeah, it's
in your
there's
memory, it's a
spatial
real
reasoning.
time.
Yeah.
No, I had the same with Walkabout Mini Golf a few months ago. I think it was back in like December, where I was out in at this bar in Vancouver, and they have like a mini putt golf course in the middle of the bar, and everyone else is sat around. And it's nothing like crazy. It's just like very basic, but it's a good 9 holes of fun, especially when you're like drunk out your head. But as soon I was really buzzed, I was really drunk, and I came as soon as I stepped foot on the course. All of a sudden, Walkabout Mini Golf music came in my head, like when your music at the shack, and I was like, okay. All right, what am I doing here? I was just like everything in my head was like Walkabout,
Yeah.
and I was like, I swear, I was thinking if I had a couple more drinks, I would have tried to search for hidden balls as well. But I wasn't that quite bad.
Yeah, that might have got you in trouble.
Is there anything in here?
No, okay, just looking for balls. Wait, what?
Found one.
Where are your cool clubs? Excuse me, these all look normal.
Yes.
That's funny. So what have you guys been playing lately in VR or other?
Lately, I've gotten back into Synth Riders.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been trying to play that almost daily now. Again.
You hit the top 10, right? Again.
Oh yeah, there's some new. I updated the songs today, and there's some like song called TikTok. I don't know. I was like, this one seems nice and poppy and fun, and yeah, I just I gotta perfect the song, and if you perfect a song and you're playing on master or whatever, you're likely to get a top, certainly a top 50 score probably. I use the small notes and 2 times speed as well. Oh yeah, it's top 7 on that one. Definitely not. I don't like that one's a new song, so I don't think it's had a lot of people play it. But yeah, I was very happy with that. I just get so zoned in, and yeah, I get hooked on getting those high scores. But yeah, I've been playing a little else. Oh, big screen. I watched Ready Player One, and we hopped into big screen with some patrons. Some people from the pod.
Awesome. That was so fun. We had one of our we have a Discord, and we have a bunch of people there who like play multiplayer games and always request what multiplayer games to play. We have quite a few in the Discord now, but there's always like a core. I would say 6 people, always active and always willing to like play. And one of the suggestions from one of the people in the Discord was to create like a big screen night where we go and watch maybe a film together and such. And it's nice because it's got to a stage, and we were saying this on the podcast recently, where people are just doing their own thing now in the Discord, and it's pretty nice to see that we didn't have to be active in there, but
it is a genuine community now.
Yeah,
nice.
Which is really nice to see. But yeah, one of the people in there, I think his name's Dr. Hero, in Discord, he did the Jackbox games. So I had never played the Jackbox games, but a bunch of us jumped in, and it was really fun. It was really fun.
Oh, I also played some fishing with them the day after as well.
Nice.
Some real VR fishing. I hadn't gotten into US West DLC yet. It was very nice.
I was so we play a lot of Jackbox online since we're so far apart, and I was wondering that just the other week, if you could play that in big screen streaming, and how well it would work.
So
I think most of us used our phones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of us used our phones, but there was 2 of us who actually did it on the computer, and they did a remote desktop of big screen into the world. so they could see their own desktop whilst they were in someone else's world, which was pretty neat because they didn't have to take the VR headset off. The only issue for them is that when it came to the drawing challenges, it was very difficult to draw. And to be honest, it was so funny. I haven't laughed so much in VR for quite a long time, and I was in tears. I remember one person, her name's Jen, and I have to. If she's watching this, she's gonna hate me for this, but she essentially. It was one of those games where you had to pitch like an invention, okay, and she was describing it and we were like, that doesn't make any sense, and she was like, look, it's gonna look way better, it'll make more sense as soon as you see the picture. And we saw the picture and all it is a bunch of squiggles, and I died laughing. I was like, this has made it worse. I have no idea what the hell this is.
I know less now.
And to be fair, with that as well, we're in certain game modes like the inventing one, for example, where you have to invent some random thing. You could, when you're trying to pitch your idea, one of you could go up to the front of the big screen and like pitch your idea, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that was really cool. I remember one person, Dave, he pitched his idea and I wasn't happy of it, so I threw a tomato straight at his head. I hit him in one shot and I was very proud. But it was just a good laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jackbox does work really well. It's just that most of the times you'll have to just have it on your phone, so you have to take your headset off and on, right? Which is actually not as bad as it sounds. Or use the nose hole if you can do that. Yeah, for sure.
I'm a big fan of the nose gap phone.
I keep forgetting the name of the app. I thought there was an app where you could actually see your phone screen, but I don't know if it'd be fast for Jack. You could see it in VR like an alert.
I think there's a couple. The one you're thinking that we had them on the podcast, that was like for messages and recording. Like you could record stuff.
Because like the best part of the Jackbox stuff is like the drawing games for me.
Yeah.
I remember what I drew one time. Everyone's like, asked me if I was using like a pen. I'm like, no, it's just my finger. I think I was drawing
Damn, you're one of those people.
Yeah, like sometimes it's you can't tell what it is, and sometimes you get that idea, and it's like boom, and I had like Dogleg Willie, some guy like I don't remember what it was. It was like perfect, and I was like, holy crap, that turned out really well. And everyone's like, this isn't fun. Wookie's using a pencil, and I was like, a fat finger, like it's stuck with the phone.
It says, have you seen my index finger? It's as thin as a HP pencil.
One finger is like whatever.
Just one finger, which is... That's quite funny. But one of the drawing ones are really fun. I've never played Jackbox until that time, but there was one where we had to do they had to make t-shirt designs. So all of us, I mean, all of the other people from the Discord, they all was trying to design merch because we just created our own merch and posted it on. So they had that in their idea. It's like, okay, let's create a new T-shirt and such, and it was just very funny.
I like the T-shirts.
Yeah.
We've ordered a few of those.
That's Can you imagine like playing Pictionary in VR? Like, just why not? Why hasn't this happened yet? Like,
oh wait, there's Potato Party. That's kind of like Pictionary. You can get people on their phones, and then one person in VR, and there's like a whiteboard. There's sort of a 3-dimensional space you can like sort of spawn artifacts and create something, and then people are trying to guess what it is. Yeah.
Is that like an asymmetrical game then?
Exactly.
Oh my god, I have to Potato Party. I gotta write that down.
Yeah, it's on Quest and I think Steam is right.
If you
it's
people over, like family members over, and do that, you need to like record them in real life while they're in VR trying to do that, and then try to record the whole session anyway. That'd be
Aside from playing Jackbox online, aside from COVID stuff, for years I've had like rock band parties with like sync lights, smoke machine, like big, like full setup. But I rotate that between that and Jackbox parties, so it'd be pretty easy to do. So that's gonna happen.
I don't know. The Guitar Hero Smoke Party sounds way cooler.
It is, but it doesn't. And I love it for this reason, but it does not blend well to like having conversations with a group of people. It's like, shut up, I'm singing.
It's more like a rave, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential in this now once hand tracking 2.0 is a thing, because like games like charades, for example, just like general games that have been around for years, we could probably now make something like that, where you're all in different places of the world, but we can do your in-house parties like that and have games.
And that's the fucking magic, because like I don't know anyone around me that aside from like family shit, that wants to play that shit. But I can find people online,
Loads of people are willing to do that. So yeah, for sure. The magic of VR.
So aside from that, you challenged me to go through Showdown.
Yeah, dude. I booted that up. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be like a demo. And it was like less than 60 seconds of a slow video clip. And I was let down, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm like, I was going to say something, but I thought it'd be funny, so I apologize. But did you did you watch it on Quest or PC?
Yeah. I loaded it up on Quest. I was like, oh, cool. Like I saw like a 10-second clip online. I was like, all right, that's like what the game quote unquote will be. Is I make a quotes with my pill hands here, and then I booted it up. It's like half a gig too. I was like, yeah, this will be a fun experience. Cool. And I was put off. I was put off.
For anyone watching and listening, I think that's just expectations, because if you know that it's just a little 20, 30-second clip, it's pretty neat. But like you asked me if I play, I'm like, well, I saw it on PC a long time ago, but then I hopped into Quest, and much better on PC, obviously. But it was still like, it's a 30-second clip where like these troops are shooting at a big robotic monster, and it's like very like movie-esque style. And on PC, like it looks pretty amazing. But my point with that is they have these bullets and things blowing up, and the car goes over your head at one point with a guy in it. It's pretty neat. But like if you watch really closely, like rocks are flying through people's heads and not stopping or hitting them, and like bullets are grenades blowing up on a wall before the grenade physically blows up. The wall already like pops. So I'm like, if you're gonna make this, like, but I think it's neat. It's free to check out. But
yeah, I just wish it was a little bit more, or like some sort of interaction. Yeah, that's that. And I mean, what is the game like? I assume the game is a game.
It's just an experience.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, that's all it is. What you saw. That's
all it is on PC as well.
Yeah, it just looks way better.
Jiminy crickets! Is this from like 2014?
It's early. I don't remember the year, but
okay, gotcha.
Which is why you said that. I'm like, Quest. I'm like, why did they put that on Quest? Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. They're just trying to
the audiences.
They're trying to push the hardware. I think their point was to show devs the potential. And does it do that? I don't know. I think you're better off just showing them like, I don't know, Medal of Honor or something.
Yeah.
Or Samurai Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
No, I'll admit, I mostly just played the PC VR version of that one.
I don't think I've played that on Quest yet either, but
yeah. Gosh.
So what else have you guys been playing?
I haven't really been playing much VR games. I've been playing Supernatural a lot. I've got into that a hell of a lot recently. And that's just epic, right? It's so well done. Did you hop in the Star Wars one at all? Did you do that one? Yeah. It's just the production. I feel like I was saying on our last podcast that I think that was probably the first thing that we saw Supernatural being heavily influenced from the Meta takeover when they took them over at the start of this year. And it looks like the Star Wars license was probably the first big thing, because they had like costumes. They had the Emperor with a hell of a lot of makeup. But those workouts are just really fun, and I like. I mean, there's definitely flaws in it, but I do like the fact that there's a wide range of workouts, and maybe I just want to jump in for 10 minutes. I did a 45-minute supernatural workout the other day, which was there's a new program. I don't know how new it is actually, but it's called Supernatural Beast. Okay, and it's all in hard mode, right? And there's 2 workouts per day. But the last workout was just one, I think it's 45 minutes or 40 to 45 minutes. And oh my gosh, on my Apple Watch, it said I burnt 1,000+ calories on that just one.
Jimmy Crickets.
But it was so much fun. Like, even though I was tired, didn't feel like I exercised much. I would do a HIIT workout from like a normal fitness class, for example, and it'll be a slog, it'd be tough, but I'll look at my Apple Watch, and the calories would be the exact same of what I would quote unquote burn in Supernatural. I know those calories on the Apple Watch aren't super accurate, but relative, they were both the same. And I'm like, I might as well just keep doing Supernatural for the cardio stuff, because it's just so much more fun. And because it's in VR, I'm so like dialed into the gamify part of it, like the Beat Saber aspect of it, which I think they do Beat Saber better in Supernatural. I think the tracking is just better, and obviously the songs are just really good. Just a fantastic way of working out. And I tried it before and I never kind of got into it, but I think now that they've got a variety they've got the flow, and they've also got boxing as well now. There's a bit more variety to do in terms of workouts. Every day there's new workouts that you can just hop in and such, and they have a wide range of music. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Supernatural and absolutely loving it. And I realize that now I'm literally charging the Quest every single day.
Yeah, I think oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, we had Leanne, Coach Doc, Johnny, who was their media producer, on. They were our first guests on the podcast ever. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I remember.
It was such a blast. And I've been trying to get them back today, and I'm not dissing anyone.
Now they're too big time.
No. I talk to them personally still, like through messages and stuff. Whoever like does their office like contact stuff, I have to email them like 10 times to get a reply, and she's always like, "Oh, sorry, I'm really bad at this." Like,
so you need a new community manager.
Yeah. Because but yeah, Coach Doc challenge. We had a challenge on one of the beast modes, and I got a diamond on it, and he didn't. So I was like,
"Hey,
I love."
He followed me the other day. It's cool.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. They're all like really cool.
They're all great.
But they'll be back soon. I hope as soon as I get another reply. And that happened the first time. It took like 3 months to get them.
It was at Star Wars one that I hopped into that I rage quit to then do a bike workout. Yeah, I want to get into it, but I just can't. It's like I feel like I'm gone to the gym, and that's just the last thing I want, which is why I just hop into Synth Riders, throw on Master 2 times speed, and I can't think of anything else. All I can do is move and do, and I don't have anybody talking to me. And I like that was the thing. I was like, stop telling me to do better. And the rotation, that's also the thing. So Synth Riders has the 360 or the 90 degrees as well. Beat Saber's added this as well. And Supernatural does it. And I can't stand it. I want to face one direction. I don't want to be turning.
It's interesting you say that, because like we both have complete opposite kind of thoughts on Supernatural. I think it does do the gamified purpose, and I'm into it, but then you're the opposite, which is just interesting. But then that's just this thing, is that this is why we have also so many different fitness apps of ways in VR, right? We have the ways to do Synth Riders or Thrill of the Fight, but then we also have Lightboxer, we also have Les Mills, we have Supernatural, we have we have loads of different ones, because they're all kind of different, and it's just
Yeah.
as long as you're getting your exercise in, but you're having a great time, I'm all for it.
So I did Supernatural for a year and a half, like straight every day. Didn't miss a day and lost a bunch of weight.
Wow.
And was feeling great. But my relationship with the app is like a love annoyed. I love the app. I love like the added boxing. It's really great. But the music, like they have a diverse, like a great selection of music, which is awesome. But I must be like a musical snob because there's music
Still
I
top
like
40.
and that they have, and I'm surprised they have it. And then there's music that I can work out to and it doesn't annoy me. And then there's the rest of it, which is like the biggest chunk, which I don't want to ever hear that song again. And that's like what they kind of stick with the most. So I use Supernatural in the winter to just kind of keep up with fitness, because in the summer I try to like bike and hike and kayak and all that blah blah. But I love it. It's just I need more of my music in it.
I've got a question. I've raised my hand, old school style here. Yeah.
You feel?
When you're so like, do they cycle through the songs? So like, if you find a song you like, can you add it to a playlist and it'll always be there, or will it eventually disappear?
So the way it works is,
right?
yeah, it's per workout. So you can favorite the workout and find it. And I've only seen 2 songs disappear from the app completely. The rest have been there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can keep workouts, but what I would rather they just did individual songs, and then because right now you pick like a heavy or a
Right,
a
it's
hard
a whole workout. It's not individual songs. Yeah.
But I want the song like, because then I'll go to the light mode and they're like, oh, look at all these great songs, but the light workout for me doesn't do anything. Right? It's got to be
You want to
medium or
mix
hard.
and match. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
When I was doing it a lot too, I had the same problem with the song, because I would actually do more of the light workout because I don't know if it's just me, but form is more important than like the power and the speed. And I was like, the nice thing about having somebody, if you had to go to a gym or an instructor, they'll tell you when your form's wrong. Like if I'm working out with the girlfriend and we're doing stuff like that, I'm like, your back's bent, you should do this. She's like, that's actually really helpful because you can feel it more. But like if you're doing the wrong thing and you're going too fast, people are damaging stuff you don't know you're damaging. So that was one thing I was like, if I wasn't in VR, if I was practicing something in physical, I'd have to use a mirror to check it. But I don't want to watch myself in the mirror, and I don't really want to see like a camera of myself in VR. Like, how is this working? And they don't watch you and correct you, so they just push you to go faster.
Oh, Zuckerberg is watching you, but they're not.
Right. But and that comes from like old training too. So I'm doing like specific ways to do with the squat. So I'm actually like, hitting these things like a certain way. And I don't really perform. Like I would get up to like the 85 percentile. I think I had some guy like fucking with me too. He's like, well, if you can do it, I can do better. And I'm like, who the fuck are these people? And
anything you can do, I could do better.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was. Some random guy. He's treating me like an asshole. But when I was doing like the lower speed workouts, because I would, I'd be doing my own thing, and I would get the same songs. I don't remember what they were, but they were like college band, early 2000 stuff, and it would be on like every other workout. It'd be the same song. I'd be like, this is their new workouts like every day. There's a whole pile of them, and I do like 2 of the light ones to keep the form up, and like every other day it's the same song. I'm like, oh god. And like PJ said, it's not really, I hope it's not snobbery, but it's like those songs. There's some songs you will look for to listen to. Some songs you won't turn the dial or just shut it off. And there's some songs where you will throw the radio out of your car. And those are those style. Like, no offense to Blink 182 fans, but most of those songs, I'm like, no, I can't. And sorry. And I have to shut it off. And it's not those, but it's like that.
My 2001 self would be offended, but I don't like them anymore, so I'm not offended anymore. But back in the day, I would have came at you, Worky.
Did you say Oh yeah, second 2 albums, not their first 2 albums, but Dumpweed and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Oh yeah, I'll crush those albums. Teenagers, 40 minutes of teenage angst.
I love the guitar riff too, but I don't know the name of it. And like, I don't mean to offend anybody. You can tell me whatever.
I'm not going to defend Blink 182.
I know some people that will beat you up for that shit. But and that was just one thing. Like, I just remember from early college music, so it wasn't a Blink 182 song. I could have probably left this on, but it's like it was maddening to me because I'm sitting there like concentrating on elbow and shoulder alignment.
Yeah, I don't work out to Blink 182. I get it.
But yeah, it was like stop. Man. Then I'd turn the music down. I'm like, well, that's boring, and just start hitting the balls as they come. It's like, well, I kind of like the rhythm, but it was
just don't like the whine.
The tail end of the year and a half where I did every day, I did turn everything, like I just turned all the audio off and had earphones and was just doing it, which actually wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just turn it off too. I'm like, it takes some of the fun away, but you get in like Zen. You don't, it doesn't matter.
If I wasn't working out at like 4 a.m, I would have just had loud music playing and it'd have been perfect.
The opposite of that point, I can see the other side of it though, where what I've noticed is that because of a bunch of those songs in there, yes, personally, I wouldn't also listen to while I'm working out. But here's a great example. I worked out to classical music the other day, and holy smokes, that was sick. It was very good. It was like I was conducting an orchestra throughout the whole thing, and I was like, why is this really good? This works so well. So it could also work on the opposite side. You go, okay, I probably won't listen to that, but let me try the workout and go, actually, no, I'm a big, I'm a big Dua Lipa fan now, because why not?
I wonder who does the mapping of Supernaturals?
They have choreographers, right?
I knew the main guy's name, but now I can't think of it, but now they have a whole team for it.
The choreography is very, very good, to be fair. Yes. And once again, I think that's another thing that the tracking on it is really good. I think it's a step forward to Beat Saber, and I think the choreography is really good. It's not just loads of notes can make you super fast. Yeah. It's kind of makes sense where all the notes are, right? Mm-hmm. But like you, Wookie, like I remember when I first did Supernatural like a year or two ago, and because I didn't really know what the form was, I would go into like a medium or a hard workout because I'm like fit enough. I can definitely do some of this workouts. But next day I'd wake up and my traps would be on fire and like stuff that shouldn't really be on fire. Like maybe my shoulders or my arms, but I shouldn't be using my traps so much and such. And that's kind of, it put me off Supernatural a bit because I was like, it's not good for your form. But then it was just me not doing it right. And I should have just gone for low. And that's what I did when I came back to it. I started off low and kind of understand exactly how to hit these targets properly. You're not meant to hit them like Beat Saber as well. It's not meant to be all wrists. It's just you're meant to keep your wrists locked pretty much. They have a good video on their YouTube, but it would be nice if they had like a good video, that video essentially being put into the game when you first play or something, just as a reminder or such.
Yeah, I was like the info for games to be in the game. I don't want to go to somebody's YouTube channel and learn about it.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
That was my thing. I stayed on the lower songs because I could do the form a little bit easier and miss a few, and I didn't really care. I didn't really move up to the high ones. When I did, I could do them. It's like it wasn't a problem. But then I actually got worried for like other people outside of myself. So it's like that poor guy that was like, I was getting good scores, and I go back, probably re-download the app and find those messages. And he was just being a douchebag. Where I'm like, now that guy's trying to outdo me, which I don't care. I'm just going to do my thing. And he could blow out his knee because he did a squat too deep. Or,
that was just me on a second account. Sorry.
Is this a troll?
Just kidding.
That's fantastic.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Pistol whip does that to me though. I get sore in places I didn't even know I had muscles after pistol whip.
You having said that, like after playing Supernatural for so long, when Pistol Whip came out and you gotta like dodge shit, I was actually like doing like lunges and shit, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, and it was because
Proper
of Supernatural. Like, I was actually doing it right and getting some workout.
Did you find that your performance in Pistol Whip was better? Because I jumped into that a couple of weeks ago just to try the encore modes because I haven't jumped into it for a long time, and I was like, I this feels like normal to me because I'm just so used to doing all those crazy movements in Supernatural.
Used to your body.
Yeah. Another great game.
Because at the end of the year, they'll send you like I don't know why they don't just have it in the app, but they'll send you your like lifetime achievements, and I had like I don't know how many 10,000 squats and 20,000 lunges for the year. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. But I definitely noticed it in other games I started, like where you actually moved, which if you make a VR game, you have to make your player move, because if you just stand there, it sucks.
Your legs hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a seated game, then no movement.
Unless it's a seated game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I wish Supernatural does is make it available outside North America, because I'm going back to the UK for 5 weeks next month, and I'm gonna be sad. I'll just have to cancel Supernatural for a month because I can't play
Damn,
it.
you have 5 weeks of vacation?
No, I'm working.
This is Canada? Oh, okay.
My
I was
work,
like, I know I'm in America, but damn.
My workplace does offer a lot of holidays, but no, I am working from over there.
Okay.
And to that point, like, again, since the beginning, and I know like how companies like work and devs, like I've emailed them tons of suggestions and stuff. They've actually done some of them. Not that saying it's from me or anything, but you know, they've listened pretty well to feedback. But downloadable workouts should be a thing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Shit, I already lost my other train of thought. There's another thing I was going to say.
Workouts and offline workouts.
Her name is Leanne.
I know that.
I wish offline workouts was a thing, and yeah, because maybe if I go on this vacation, for example, say if I'm just going for a week or go, I can just preload all the workouts I want to do, so then I can just jump into those, you know, and I don't have to connect to the internet or anything. I can just use those ones that I've downloaded.
You know what you need to do?
What's that?
You need to just upload the 2000 Synth Riders custom songs.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use stuff like Synth Riders, because I love playing Synth Riders for that reason too. It's really good. But I need to get into custom songs.
I will say, in regards to the mapping thing, like there are certain, and I don't know about certain, but like sometimes I'll play a random Synth Rider song and I'll play for 15 seconds, and I'm just like, this is not the map you were looking for, so to say. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, I enjoy certain types of mappers and like movement styles, and some of them I'm just like, this is not for me.
Yeah. This is not the droid you've been looking for.
Yeah.
I do hope them getting, you know, acquired by Meta does help them maybe get to those countries, because you know it is expensive and a big thing, but hopefully that helps.
I was just watching the Celtics game last night, and there's a Supernatural ad during it. I'm like, that's bonkers.
Yeah.
Can't you use a VPN while you're over there?
I want to try that.
You can sideload that. Yeah.
I want to definitely try that. You have to do that before you leave, though. You can't really. It doesn't. For some reason, Mateo said it didn't work when he was over there, so I want to try that and go from there.
I noticed you've got a floating head underneath there.
Yeah,
we already had that conversation.
Recording version.
Yeah, I gotcha. I didn't step off the side because I was afraid earlier, but now I've got my VR legs enough that I could do it. What else have I been playing?
We had the last dev roundtable in here. They were talking about the avatars, and I'm like, we've had those guys in here so often. Like, I can tell, like, if we went to a blank space out there, I could tell who's who by their mannerisms, which is pretty nuts.
That's pretty wild, just from these two pills.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're with the dev team, because you've been with them so long.
Yeah. Because Johnny's always like this.
just jittering around.
Ramming the table.
Yeah.
I jump.
Just a loose the finger with that thumbstick.
Just giggity.
I mean, honestly, you move around pretty fast in here. Like, I feel like I'd get motion sick.
Maybe. If we were doing something else than just sitting down and talking, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, this is faster than the walkabout fast fly speed for sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
I will tone those down just for you.
Oh, there's writing over here? Oh, no.
Yeah.
It looks better from over here.
Yeah.
All I can say is we've come a long way since when I was on your podcast. I think I was on episode 60 something, and I don't think I remember. No, I wouldn't see your faces either. It was just like all audio, pretty much.
Yeah, that was audio
Discord,
only.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember.
Well, still no faces.
Still no faces, but at least I can it's a little bit difficult when well, it's not difficult, but it's a little bit different when you're just talking to someone like on the phone, pretty much. For it, it's just way better when you either see them or at least can see parts of their body.
Oh, PJ, I did buy in that Star Wars. Obviously, Steam had a big Star Wars sale, so I had to buy all of them. And so I started Republic Commando. And I was honestly at first I was like, "Damn, I can't play with the controller." But then I just started playing with my mouse and keyboard.
Awesome.
And pretty fun. It was my first time playing it. I played for like an hour or so, I think.
Yeah, it's still good. I played on Xbox One, and this.
Yeah.
I last time I played that, I went through. I don't remember if I used mouse and keyboard on PC or not, but there's some in-game commands you can look up, like to slow down time. So I wrote macros to give myself bullet time. So like presses it, and it'll slow down time. It'll like scale it down for a little while, and then it'll scale it back up. So when we jump up, and it goes like, and then you just start shooting people in the face. It is so fucking fun.
Damn, that was pretty good. You got good slow-mo.
Excellent. I've actually, speaking of that, if we're not non-VR, I've been playing a lot of the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
Yes.
I got that on Switch, which is really nice in handheld. I'm not gonna lie, it really pops, and it's like an easy game, but it's so funny. And even like you go through the main story of Star Wars, like the films, so it's it's pretty much accurate to what happens, to be honest, in the films, but it's just the jokes that they make is so funny. And it might be a quote unquote kids game because it's like Lego, but my gosh, I think it's a Star Wars fan game more than anything.
Yeah,
for sure.
The first, I started at the very beginning, obviously. Episode 4, and like
in a
galaxy
long,
like
far
fighting
away.
Out of the, just the fighting was like, I'm like, this is better than some of the action games they've made in this. Like,
yeah. And
then
I started
I was
episode 4 as well, and some of the gunplay is pretty good, and I always like to play with, at the moment, Obi-Wan, because he has a lightsaber, and it's pretty good. And some of the levels, they're quite long at times too. Like I expected it to be quite much more of a shorter experience, but there's so much detail in that game, like you can really explore. I know, but it's Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot of screenshots on our secondary Twitter account of that.
No, it's a really good game. Yeah, it's pretty. It's beautiful. It really pops on the that OLED Switch. Like it looks gorgeous.
Nice.
Humble brag. Can't wait to play it on my Steam Deck.
I hope mine gets your Steam.
Yeah, you ordered it? Nice.
Steam Deck. Yeah, I'll get the big one.
Nice.
When's it due?
Like October or something like that.
Yeah, same. So far.
I like
and
how
I put myself on the Sony Direct list for PlayStation 5. A couple of weeks ago. I imagine I'll hear back within a year.
No. That's how I got mine, within a month.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was shocked.
It's been about a week or two, I think, right now.
Again, whoever knows me, first PlayStation I've ever had. So I just created a PSN account. I'm like, let me try this. I know it won't happen. Created it, signed up for it. A month later, like, hey, do you want one? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
They were like, new user, let's hook him.
Yeah, let's get him in. He's coming from Xbox. Excellent.
Yeah.
The PS5
I get one, but then I would just use
it
as like a stand for the Xbox.
Well, it does not fit where my Series X fits.
No, that's a big boy. That's a big boy. I have it in the living room, and the Switch is right next to it, and the Switch is like a tiny little guy next to this. Like it looks like the Switch is like maybe the game console, and the PS5 looks like was it Saruman's Tower in Lord of the Rings or Sauron's Tower? Like it looks like that. It looks like it should be an eye at the top.
Excuse me, Fulberadur.
You you just got corrected. You're awesome at segues because Wookie and I haven't played anything for like 2, maybe 3 weeks now. We haven't even talked really. So Wookie spent the weekend in an actual hobbit hole, and I want to hear about it.
Oh wow!
Go on.
I guess send some pics, but there's an Airbnb called Hobbit's Dream. Yeah, girlfriend was looking up those, and they had cancellation. They're booked up for like years, I think. But it was like fucking crazy. The guy, it's just a fucking hobbit hole. You go in there, and it's like a fucking hobbit hole. I was like, Jesus Christ!
How tall are you?
5'11", 6 foot.
Were you like hitting the?
I think he's got the adult size, like the Gandalf size. Actually, I guess it would be the Bilbo size. But like, it was gorgeous. He had like a Buckleberry Ferry thing on a pond. You could go out there and like pull the rope and just sit out there in the pond. And but I just wouldn't leave the hobbit hole. It's fucking tight. Yeah.
They need to have this in VR, apparently.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Gonna offer, like, he had a walk up. It was like in our Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia. So they're just up high and just gorgeous. We're walking around in these trails. He called it Mirkwood, but I'm sitting there. He's got like metal. He did metal working too. So you can go into his shop. You can carve your own wooden pipes and blacksmith like fire pokers. Or I bought like a dragon shaped door knocker just because I was like,
sounds like you went to the Middle Ages.
Kinda. This guy just does all this stuff himself. He built it himself. He's like 70 or so. He did a construction company, so he just did this stuff. So there's like a metal forged spider out in the woods when you're walking there. Like, you're just kind of walking this little trail, and you look over this fucking gigantic spider. You're like, holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if that was
love that.
Your favorite.
If that was animatronic at all, I probably would have peed because you see it out the peripherals. Nicole's like, "What the fuck? Like, look at that thing. That's cool." I just look over and like, "Oh shit!" For like 1 second, I was like, "That's a spider."
I was thinking you were convincing me to book something like this, but then now you've completely ruined it. So I will not be ever going to this hobbit hole.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to go up there, and it wasn't really close to the path. It was, it was fun. But the guy was showing off. He makes all these tools for forging stuff. So he made his own press to do something. I don't remember what. And he's sitting there hammering things. And I was like, what the fuck? It was fun. And that's just what he does. He's super nice.
Yeah.
I had seed cakes, so I bought the recipe for those things. That was fucking good.
Damn.
But the most
sounds like a hell of a vacation. How long were you there for?
Very peaceful. Only 2 nights. It's the only. We just like I said, we had a cancellation.
Yeah, weekend.
Let's buy it. So, but like the most relaxing thing, he had made all sorts of stuff inside, and like
you did kind of.
Hmm?
Sorry, you did kind of ruin it for me. You sent the picture tonight where it shows like the door and the front deck or whatever, and looks like movie quality. And Wookie's like, I had Pizza Hut on that deck. I'm like, oh man.
Well, they were really particular with the rules. They're like, they have these old, like this old stove that looks like flat metal top, and you pull the tops off. Like you could put like pieces of wood in the side and like that stuff. And they said, please don't cook anything stinky, like sausages and things, because
weed brownies,
that too. But like everything's like cotton and very comfortable, and I guess smells would really soak into that. So I was afraid to cook anything. So we just kind of kept going to the small town and getting stuff. So I'm sitting on this porch, and there's just this stuff, like the perfect amount of clutter for like you think what a hobbit hole would be. All these things, a couple of rocking chairs. There was honest to goodness, there was a pair of mating geese that come there every year, and it's like right next to their hobbit hole on the bank of that pond. And then there's like a little bird's nest like right behind one of the rocking chairs on the side with a bird living in it. Every time he'd go in and out of the hobbit hole, he'd jump out of there and like stare at me like, are you done? So I can go back and sit on my eggs. I'm like, sorry. But I'm sitting
quit disturbing me.
Yeah, I'm sitting out eating fucking pizza. I'm like, I felt like I was on the set of one of the movies. It was that well done. And I'm sitting there eating pizza. I'm like, this is really weird. I should be eating,
Where is this
sausages and
located?
No, Virginia, it sounded like.
Yeah, Virginia, if you know where that is.
Right. Yeah,
The
yeah,
East Coast.
Mid-Atlantic.
It's up in the hills. I've never been
Wow.
so jealous of someone in my entire life. It's like I just made it, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
The only downside being that you're in Virginia.
But if you got like 200 acres and you're up there where nobody else is,
yeah, doesn't matter.
So yeah, I was just sitting there, and he was so nice. They're like the nicest people. They live in a mill and have a spinning wheel just to make it look cool for the people. When you come out of the thing, you see a mill, and that's where they stay in the summer. I'm like,
That's
cool.
Can you imagine being that dude's wife if she's not into it and she's just like, we're what? Are you serious? Like we're
I wanted to
life
make it all
savings?
Star Wars.
Right?
I hate Lord of the Rings.
He asked if you're a big fan. I'm like, no, not at all. No, I didn't say it. But, and I was like, are you guys? Because you got to be, right? And she's like, well, I am, and the wife tolerates me. And I'm like, I probably understand. I'm sure we all understand that.
She's making me switch it to Game of Thrones in 5 years.
Right. Oh God, would that suck?
Wookiee will preach scripture from Lord of the Rings at you like a Christian does from the Bible.
Not all the
Sing
time.
all the songs.
But in Game of Thrones, when they say the Reigns of Castamere, I think that's the name of that song where they do that thing. I don't want to. I mean, it's old, but it's spoilers. But when that fucking shit came on and they said the name of it, I'm like, that name is from Tolkien. I'm sorry, that's one of the kings of Gondor that fucked it up from the old. Even though I've read the Silmarillion or maybe the Annals, but I'm like, fuck you. I know it's an homage, but
yeah. It's stolen.
Stolen. I remember
things like that.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like another thing that we need in VR, just to like, you should be able to go to like Hobbiton and just zoom around and walk around in it, like in VR. Like there aren't enough.
Do you have money for that IP?
Facebook does.
Facebook definitely does.
But there's not enough like museums and like either it's rock and roll or actual art or like whatever it is. Like, come on, I want to see stuff.
I mean, couldn't I just make one in 3D and put it on SideQuest or something?
There's
charge for it.
There's some decent ones you can find in VR Chat and EOS, I think, but you definitely have to like kind of know what you're looking for to find anything of quality.
Rustic round door without anything to do with sex or genitals, and would that come up in a search?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that was a good weekend.
Sounds like it. What?
What's he doing over there?
Never you mind.
So
I'm just we're over an hour. If you guys want to respect your time, if you need to take off, if not, cool. But we kind of hijack people a lot.
My fault.
I got plenty of time. I've got plenty of time. The next thing I'm doing after this is to make a pizza and sit down and just watch TV. So I got plenty of time.
Nice.
That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. So I liked how that's private.
Pineapple on it?
No.
Listen, I don't mind the pineapple. What bothers me is the ham. I can't do with the ham.
I get that.
Not a ham guy, hey?
No, not on my pizza. I like a Christmas ham. A honey ham. But to me, like I like salty sweet. But I'll get like a pineapple pepperoni or something like this. Like I don't know. I just don't like the ham on my fucking pizza. That's I don't know.
Pineapple mushroom for me.
That's it. I never tried it, but that's like soft on soft. I don't know. I guess pepperoni's not hard, but it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's got a nice little crisp, you know. You doing yoga, Dan?
So the dog just walked into my room and he just opens the door now. I don't know how he does it. And he just looked at me and I took the headset off and he got scared and ran away and closed the door.
He closed the door too.
There he goes.
yeah.
Apparently
he closed the door.
He's one of them dogs that God, what are they called? The dogs that help people.
Like Guardian? No, not Guardian dogs. Yeah.
Emotional.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Assistance.
Yes. I've seen dogs like turn on light switches and shit.
This one was assistance to say if you want pizza now or later, and I was saying later.
I should probably peace out though. I'm just in my friend's basement.
One last thing, quick, before you guys go. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
With Meta's tweet, what do you think our chances are of being two different podcasts of getting our hands on a Cambria?
0.
Since we both answered them.
I don't like it's an interesting one, to be fair. Like, joking aside, is just how does the podcast get recognized by Meta? And I like, how do we get this podcast as Oculus ambassadors? Like, we got Oculus in our name, but maybe that's the problem of that we're advertising something that they've got rid of, and now we need to change it to Let's Talk Meta to try and get something in it. I don't know. I feel like no.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I have noticed that a lot of the ambassadors have been doing giveaways lately since they went to the Meta store. Really. Like Techman's given away like 5 quests this month. BMF I saw gave away a couple games last night, and he said he's $100 voucher that's going up soon. Gamertag gave out a few and has a voucher. So like they must have done some talking over there at the Meta store and been like, hey, let's help out our communities a bit more. But us getting a friggin' headset, 0.
I think for the podcast, no. I feel like, if I kickstart my damn YouTube channel again, maybe we can never know. But the podcast, I don't think it's gonna really.
I think you really need to be able to show you've got a following, right? Like I don't know what the lowest Oculus ambassador is, but it's got to be over 5K subs on YouTube.
I think the lowest. I forgot his name, but the lowest I saw was 11,000 was the lowest. I forget his name, but that was like, I don't know really what classifies you as something that would be eligible, but no, maybe we can try and be Sony fanboys and get the PSVR 2 instead.
I'd be happy with that.
Let's talk Sony.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll see. With that Cambria headset, just on that note, is like, it's a weird one because we are not really the target market for that either.
Nope.
Because that it's a laptop replacement is what they're kind of going for. It's something for work, for enterprise. Okay, you can obviously see like the bigger YouTubers, and obviously the Oculus ambassadors or Meta ambassadors have it, but people like The Verge, CNET, those are the types of places that would probably get something like that so they can show it off,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the legit, like the Times or the Post, yeah.
So either of you pay $800 for it when it comes out?
It's meant to be more than 800.
Yeah, but I think this is going to cost $1,200.
Okay. Yeah, that came out. So essentially, the Information News channel, they put out that it's going to cost $800 or $799, and Oculus or Meta messaged them, and they also messaged Upload VR saying it's going to be significantly more than $800. So
I think 800 is probably their costs, or around their costs.
And this is why you listen to Let's Talk Oculus for news and information.
Yes, come to us for news and information. We do our research, but that's the thing, is like, this is going to cost over $1,000, and I personally probably wouldn't get it, but I'm really intrigued with it. There's a lot of good things happening. Google came out with what they want AR glasses to be in the next 2 years, and that looked really good with like translation and such. So there's so much happening, but this one would not be. But it looks like the Quest 3 was going to come out next year, so that would be the next one. Yeah, which will be exciting. But yeah, I feel like maybe Cambria, if like Meta did like a 30-day return policy on their website or something, I would definitely buy it, just test it out, and then definitely return it. So
you'd buy it, do a mad flex on YouTube, and make a bunch of videos, and then return it.
Look what I've got.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the unboxing and subscribe for more videos, and then never come out with any one again because I don't have it anymore. But no, YouTube's another conversation. YouTube's
Well, you guys got a jet.
Before I go, I'm just curious if you've ever had like a race around the set.
We have tried.
Oh,
I'm cutting that corner tight.
Samsung wins.
He did.
Good times.
I feel like he cut
cool,
through. He cut through the stage. I'm pretty sure.
Listen, it's like OG Mario Kart on the Wario level. You gotta cut half that level off.
We do plan on like aside from holdable in-game assets from devs, but like little mini games here and there and stuff. Like it'll be fun.
Nice little social hub of your own.
Yeah, for sure. But before we leave, like, how are you two doing in terms of the podcast? Like, you're on episode, what was this, 100 and...
Bro, before we leave, that's an intro question.
That is an intro question, but we're the guests. We need to invite them on our podcast and take that question. But like, how are you doing? Because you're over 100 now. First, congratulations, obviously, because that's incredible.
Yeah, episode 100 was awesome. The devs from the roundtable interviewed us, so it was pretty neat.
Wicked.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's weird because I've said this before, but when we first started, we was just the two of us talking about VR, which is fine. But it's like, does anyone want to listen to this? I don't know. So we started getting guests, and I was like, well, how long? I'm still like to this day, everyone that says, yeah, I want to come talk to you guys, I'm shocked. But I'm also like, in the past, I've had the like, how many devs are out there? How long can this really go on? And like, and it's like a roller coaster. Like some weeks I'm like
forever.
Some weeks I'm like,
accentuated that.
It feels like no one's out there and no one's like, we've talked to everybody. And then the following week, like last week, like 6 random people I've never heard of, like, hey, can we come on the show? I'm like, yeah. So
it's funny you say that because we had the same thing where, because obviously our podcast is slightly different to yours, where ours is more to do with like the news and such rather than talking to the developers. But we have had a few developers on and such. But we had the same thing, like from January, to like last month, we had no guests, and that was a part of me and Samson not kind of like engaging with anybody, but more it's just like it's been a bit of a lull. But then all of a sudden, we've had a guest almost every week since, and I think me and Samson we're going to record tomorrow, and I don't know where he's gone, but we can record
You've
tomorrow.
got bunny ears.
And I see. We're going to record tomorrow, and that's going to be like our first podcast where it's just me and him, me and Samson for like a month, because we've been have all these guests, and then next week we got another guest and such. So it's a wild time, but it's definitely fun. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, we had the same thing with like having guests on. It's like, why are you on this podcast? When Gamertag VR came onto the show recently, and Samson had to dip out early, and then at the end of our show, we always do a games out this week. So we always read the description that's on the MetaQuest website, because sometimes the descriptions are like, what the hell is this game? It's quite funny. But I got Gamertag to read it out, and while he was reading it out, I was like, I was just quiet, but I was like, this is amazing. Like this, Gamertag's like a super humble guy, and he wouldn't admit it, but he's really, really good at what he does. And the fact that he took time out to come on our podcast, which does probably way less numbers than any of his YouTube like things do. And he's just reading off his, out the games out in a wacky way. I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
sure.
kind of funny. We got to a point. I'm like, and I asked Wookie, I'm like, should we just start having an episode without guests once in a while so we can kind of talk a little, because we love hearing stories, but it doesn't give us, oh yeah,
Time
that's
to
cool,
chat,
but
yeah.
but this is what happened to me, like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
we
It's
started
nice.
sprinkling those in. I don't know. Yeah.
I
Does
noticed,
anybody want
yeah.
to hear my rants? I don't know.
Absolutely, Wookie. Absolutely. It's all about you guys in the end of the day. The devs are cool, but
I don't know about that.
but no, it's
Yeah,
not.
we kind of need them.
It's nice for podcasts when we're like, me and Samson are kind of not really up for it, and we can just let the guests talk. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah, I love the
uh,
guests.
But yeah, massive fan of guests. And I remember totaling it up the other day, and we've had so many guests on in 40 episodes, and I'm like, this is crazy. But you know, it's sometimes you think that not many people know who you are, but then in the actual community, there's a lot of people who are aware of both of our podcasts, which is mad.
Yeah.
They just need Meta to acknowledge it one day.
Yeah, and I was like, it'd be nice, but I don't care. I'm more interested in what we're doing. But it is crazy, like, not even developers, but just random people, like, hey, I heard this or I saw your video, and like, this is cool, and it's like, it's still like I said, shocking. Like, oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. One day someone will recognize us, and actually we'll never recognize us in the street because we're in these little circles.
Yeah.
But if anyone dresses
Yeah,
up like
right.
this, they'll recognize us.
This is my
definitely don't wanna
Halloween
be
costume
recognized.
for this year, right here.
It's
Yeah,
just two pills and yeah.
When I put the avatars in, I think I'm going to have a special one where you can go as a circle, and then I think, don't steal my idea on this, but I think I'm going to have, like, you draw your face, but you can see you drawing your face on your face, and then
Yeah.
check.
That's great. That's really funny. That's really funny. You obviously have to dress up as Wookiee, and PJ, you have to dress up as either Eddie Vedder or just a guitar.
All right,
be
guys.
freaky.
I'm gonna peace out. Y'all melt
thanks
more than
for
welcome to hang
joining.
out without me, though. But thank you for having us. Yes,
Keep up the good work. We got to play
We'll have
some
to
more
get in
sometime.
some bridge crew maybe this week.
Yeah,
And
that was
Demio.
fun.
And Demio. We got to get some
Dude,
Demio in.
Did you guys see my tweet about that?
With
about
the
miniature painting?
Oh no, I didn't see that. Oh.
So they
After-
teased a player hangout update where they're sitting there painting
Oh
a
yeah, I
miniature.
did see that. Yep.
Oh.
And as I kind of replied and I showed it to Wookie, he's like, remember that was your idea when we had Tommy on the podcast? I'm like, fucking A, it was like
From a year ago.
yeah.
It's the second time. I love Tommy. I don't know him that well, but like the first time we were supposed to talk to him, I was out buying a car.
Uh-huh.
It's like his favorite car. It's an old Volvo. So then he's like, I guess he really wanted to talk to me about the car the next time. And then PJ had that great idea. And I think he was even like, that's a cool idea. I'm like, dude, that is the genius idea. I would sit there for like 4 hours ignoring people playing Demio if I could paint the figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wicked.
So
that's
you're
so
welcome.
Cool.
But,
Thank you.
Your
yeah, we got to play
sphere is
sometime.
Bow
getting bigger
down.
there, PJ.
we have
Getting bigger.
we actually have 2 people in our Discord group who have just picked up Demio and have never played before. So I'll reach out
Awesome.
and we'll definitely organize something through the Discord. But yeah, thanks a lot for having us. It's been really fun.
You know, the lighting's actually pretty good on the pill hands.
Yeah.
Are we giving each other hugs?
Sure.
I'll hug you, and then I'll
give you a
hug
pat
you.
on the head. Give you a pat on the head. A good boy. A good boy.
Well, thanks again,
Yeah,
guys.
ta-ta.
You guys are some of my favorite humans. It's always fun talking and playing and reading your tweets
thank
and just
you.
everything. So keep it up.
Nice.
Yeah, probably too many tweets.
Honestly, this is the great thing about VR. Is like I've not met any of you in real life, but I can't wait for the day because it'll be super fun. I'll be like, oh my gosh, you're the guy who dresses up as a Wookiee all the time, and you know,
I'm super
be
lame
super
in
fun.
person.
Oh yeah,
Alright, good night.
That's a great ending.
Yeah.
Great ending.
Super lame in
Just end
person.
it
I'm in a
there.
basement right now. Good night.
Still check out their podcast. He's not that lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, He's good. He's great. All right.
Humble
Thanks,
brag
guys.
again.
See ya.
Enjoy your
Bye.
pizza.
Thanks everyone for watching, listening, hanging out. Again, check out Let's Talk Oculus Podcast. It's a good time. Very informative. They go over games, info, all that good stuff that we don't do. So, and they have cool guests.
That sounds like fun. Check them out.
Later.
Ciao.